Welcome to the Old-Fashioned Three. They've been around basketball from the Big Dipper to the Greek Freak, from Russell Celtics to Curry's Warriors, from Peach Baskets to Paolo Banchero. Here are Whitey Gleason, Phantom, and Jerry Reynolds.
Yes, that was that cat, all right.
Did you guys ever think we'd be sitting here talking about these Kings, this year's Kings, winning 40 games? I know they're not done yet. Did you think we'd be talking about that?
Not me.
Their team, they're 40. Huh? Get that? Hi, everybody. Huh?
Can we start?
Bad start.
I'm a man. I'm 40.
Can we start over?
Remember that? Criticize me. I'm a man. I'm 40.
Yes, we'll just pretend that didn't happen.
Okay.
Hey, Old-Fashioned Three, it's great to be with you. I thought what was really impressive about the Kings, Mr. Basketball, and the great Jerry Reynolds, and Coco, of course, and you, dear viewer, listener, I thought it was impressive that they played with the same amount of aggression and force, whether they were up 7 in the second quarter against the Suns or down 2 in the third quarter, or it was tied in the waning minutes of the game. They played the same way. They didn't turtle up at any moment. They just played with such force and intensity throughout. I was really impressive to see them do that on the road.
Well, they've kind of done that on the road most of the time. You know, they're one of probably second or third best road record in the entire league. So, you know, obviously there's exceptions to that. But, yeah, that's the thing with Mike Brown. I just think he's done a marvelous job of motivating his guys and kind of holding them accountable. It's like, you know, this game, Kessler Edwards comes in, provides really a defensive spark where Keegan Murray was, I thought, in the walkabouts, and so, you know, that's kind of how you do it is like, boy, find the right switch every night.
I think I said on the last episode that Kessler Edwards was the answer defensively, but I was just kidding, Phantom.
Nice to rejoin you guys. Put myself on a little time out there. Yeah, I think we said on the show a while ago, the thing I like about this team, or one of the things, is that they have so many guys who can score and pick up other guys. They had 2 guys in the starting lineup who didn't really contribute offensively at all, still had 7 guys, 8 guys in double figures, and the bench, I think 4 guys in double figures off the bench, so really stepping up, and that's what I like about this team is they have potency, they have offense at a lot of different positions. They had 2 guys in the starting lineup who had less than 10 points, and Murray had none, and they still had 128 points, and so that's what I love about him.
It's a lot of numbers there, but he's right. To me, that is the number one sign that an offense is clicking, is when you have multiple guys in a lot of guys in double figures. I know some teams aren't set up that way. The assist number for the Kings was like 19, but when you have that many players, what'd you say, Phantom? 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 guys in double figures.
4 off the bench,
your offense is working, Coach.
Well, it is, and they do have a good bench, and you don't really know for sure game to game what bench guy is going to come in and be really good. Certainly Monk has proven it, and Trey Lyles has just been terrific, on a consistent basis.
And who called that,
yeah.
Mr. Basketball?
Well, I know. And that's
about 2 months ago, but that's okay.
that's the one thing about Jerry. He's not out for individual glory.
No.
He's out for the team.
Team.
It makes the old-fashioned three look good. Well, Jerry, I was going to pay an homage to you because that is my new award I've created based off of Trey Lyles.
Oh.
Because, we have the six-man award for guys off the bench, but the six-man is really like, who's the guy who could be a starter, who's not a starter, and scores a lot of points? I think we need to dig deep into the bench and get an award for the real bench guy. Like back in the day, the Kings, Bobby Jackson was a six-man. But what about like a John Barry, a Scott Pollard? What about a guy buried deep on the bench that comes through each and every night, like a Trey Lyles? I want a deep in the bench award.
Well, what would you call it?
The
That's a good
rotation.
question.
The rotation award. A guy who's in the rotation. And we can work on that and get a sponsor if you want. But I just think there's a guy. See, Bobby Jackson's not a real bench guy. Like some of these guys who win the six-man, they're not bench guys. They're starters who don't start. Like Lou Williams and back in the day, John Havlicek, obviously. Real bench guys. Scott Pollard's.
Yeah, it's not
Trey Lyles.
It's a good
guys
idea.
like that. Yeah,
Can't work.
Come on. What about that guy?
You'd have to call it like if you have the six-man. This would have to be the seventh man or more award.
Eighth man. We'll call it the eighth man award.
Well, what happened to the seventh man?
Well, he's supposed to do that.
It'd have to be the seventh man or worse award. Nobody wants that.
How about the bench guy? Trey Lyles would love to have it, won't you think?
But
Trey
the
Lyles
six-man
would absolutely love to have that.
The six-man is a bench guy.
Yeah. What was the guy? Hartenstein? Hartenstein would love to win that award if he could. Guys who come off the bench, deep off the bench and play well. Guys like that. That's what I'm saying.
The only way that would work is if you had a seventh man, eighth man, ninth man, 10th man, and so on.
Well, it's hard to do it in an ordinal fashion like that.
I know.
Okay?
It's impossible.
I'm saying it's the guy who's really a bench guy. As we said, Lou Williams is not a bench guy. This guy is really a bench guy, and they come through, and as Jerry pointed out 2 months ago, right? Wasn't that the number? This is going to be the guy for the Kings, and he really has been. But Trey Lyles is not in the sixth man of the year conversation, but he's in the eighth man of the year conversation.
Well, I mean,
that's what I'm saying.
Well, I'm kind of on board with you. I mean,
Thank you, Jerry.
We have enough awards, I mean.
Oh, we have enough awards.
But I mean, this could be the MVRP, most valuable rotation player,
or reserve player.
Reserve player.
Absolutely, the MVRP.
But a six-man is a reserve.
No, he's not. Well, we know he's
he
not.
literally is not a starter.
He's a really starter. He's a really starter.
No, he's not. You only start five.
Yeah, you only start five, but the sixth man he's already got his own niche there. I think the most valuable reserve player. Tremendous idea, Jerry. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And we will sit back and await.
Yeah.
Okay, what's it called? Just so we know now.
Most
it is
valuable reserve player.
Okay.
MVRP, baby.
MVRP, and the front runner right now, Trey Lyles.
Who's not the sixth man.
Yeah. No, it's not. Of course. Have you been listening?
You had
Yes.
You had the sixth man. Now we've got the MVRP.
That's right. Thank you, Jerry.
Okay.
Endorsed by Jerry freaking Reynolds, by the way.
Right. Yeah. I know. All of a sudden, I
know it wasn't your idea.
For
okay,
me.
I know. Yeah.
But you also mentioned Hartenstein, which kind of.
Well, I just was trying to think of another guy from deep on the bench.
Hobbled your own argument.
No,
I do think if
Hartenstein's a valuable
that
player.
maybe Pam and I get in touch with. If we had a living, breathing commissioner.
There you go. We knew that was coming.
If we did.
And I support that, of course.
we could get that pushed through.
Mm-hmm. Hey, the Bucks tonight for the Kings. I think we're going to try another world's fastest pregame show coming up here. But Milwaukee coming off a loss to the Warriors. The Bucks should have won that game. No Giannis, but they had the ball, 3-point lead with 20-something seconds left, and they gacked that one away, Jared. It's very un-Buck-like.
Un-Buck-like. Yeah, they bucked up, didn't they?
Only one person could go there, and he did. Okay?
Well,
yeah.
Phantom.
What?
Yeah. I mean, everyone
talking to me. What? Hey, listen, I have to.
Phantom's like, sorry, I was doing something.
I have to recuse myself because Saturday night I was at a crab feed. I was hosting a crab feed on Saturday night, so I wasn't able to watch these.
Did you
games.
tell that they're a team? They're 40 joke? Is that?
No.
Okay.
Well, the crab feed started.
I heard the crab feed didn't go that well.
The crab feed started at 6. I went on stage as the MC at 7:15, so that tells you how good I was. I didn't even do anything. And then all of a sudden I'm like, I should actually do something. So I grabbed the mic and dominated the rest of the night.
Did you? Well,
I'll tell you,
you should.
It was slow. Well, my first appearance.
Were you there?
My first appearance did not go over well because who's this guy who's hosting after an hour and a half? Why didn't he say anything at 6 o'clock when we started?
Which is a good question. The answer is
an excellent question. Well, the answer is, first of all, the people were doing everything they were supposed supposed to do. They were buying their raffle tickets, going to the bar, and everything.
How'd they know what to do if they
And
didn't have
they
someone
just
telling them
did
what?
it instinctively, and also it was a
Instinctively or instinct-fully?
exactly.
Yeah.
And it was a fundraiser for the band, and so they had entertainment the whole time. And it was very good entertainment,
As
by the
opposed
way.
to later when you came on.
Well, no, that was not entertainment. That was just going over the facts. So that they kind of had things going. Everybody was kind of in a groove, and I didn't want to interrupt that, of course, like I do with Jerry. So I finally said, they kind of asked me to come and do this, and it's an hour and a half in. I should probably get up and say something. So I did, and that didn't go well.
the key there was they had entertainment.
Yeah, I noticed
And
that.
then I alternated with the entertainment for the rest of the evening and pulled things out. It went fine.
See, if I'm there, if it's I understand the way you described it, I'd be thinking, oh, this must be the guy they send out there when they want us all to leave.
Yeah.
Right? It's been a long time now.
Well, it was only 7. No, not a bad idea. It would have worked, but
that guy. I think they want us to get out of here.
luckily the crab had not come out yet, or had it.
What?
The crab. It was a crab feed, so they
Oh,
hadn't
okay.
fed them yet. They had been offering.
okay,
Obviously,
well.
the crab teeny was a very popular beverage, of course, but they hadn't brought the crab out
I
yet.
think
so.
I'll pass on the crab.
Well,
tea.
that's exactly what I said, but they sold out. So, I mean, I don't even know what they were. I did not get that involved in it. So, my point being that
I had
didn't
a
get
better
to
understanding of this evening before I knew anything about it. When I knew nothing about it, I
yeah,
had a better
yeah.
understanding than I do after hearing it.
All right.
Yeah. He's giving himself a timeout again.
He's going to pout now.
Yeah.
Isn't
Yeah.
All right, you're
yeah.
right, Jerry. You
Well,
just challenged
good.
me on
Sounds
that.
like a
It
successful
was
evening.
a successful
That's great.
evening, but my point was that I couldn't see the Warriors come back miraculously against the Bucks.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
he? Well, that's a long way around, wasn't it?
Yeah, I thought inject
Yeah.
some energy into the
Yeah,
show.
Next
early.
time,
well,
just, hey, I didn't see it.
I could say that, or I could explain and make it a lot better.
Just when those Warriors, when you think that's it, they're done, they're finished, obsolete, they're past their due date, then they bounce back with a win like that, a miraculous win where the Bucks kind of handed it to them. But the Bucks are an excellent team. People talk about the Warriors culture, and I know they're a great culture. The Bucks, I know they've only won the one title, but they have a great culture too, it seems to me, because their best player, who may or may not play tonight, Giannis, is a team guy, and so is Drew Holiday. And when your best players are like, you know what, team first, that's I think the foundation of good culture.
I kind of think so too, and I mean, and they're really set to kind of go forward. I mean, not that they're a particularly young team, but as long as Antetokounmpo is relatively young, and so that means they're in a position, because you could place a lot of guys around him. I mean, I think Drew Holiday would be hard to replace as well, but they're set to be a
Middleton working his way back, and your guy Bobby Portis.
Bobby Portis,
Oh,
baby.
man, Bobby
And Brooke
Portis,
Lopez
yeah.
all of a sudden is having a year.
Yeah, how did that happen?
How did that Blake and shoot
He's a
threes?
candidate for Defensive Player of the Year.
Is he a candidate for MVRP? No, he is not.
No, he's not.
No,
no,
he's
that
not.
doesn't
No.
apply to the
That doesn't apply
conversation.
in this case. No.
Yeah.
But I think, well, obviously, when you have one of the best three players in the league for however many years, you're fine. But I think the Drew Holiday thing, we talk about old-fashioned point guards. You don't see them very much anymore.
Old-fashioned point guards is a different podcast.
That's a very good podcast and a very good award as well. You get guys who initiate offenses. That's not usually what a point guard does these days, but I think he does more than most, and he also has the offensive scoring, dimension too. But he kind of gets back and is a real floor leader, and you don't see that as much. You see guys score from that position, but not lead the team, and I think Holiday does.
Well,
that.
and he's a two-way player.
Yeah.
I've always said. I mean, you look at some of the bigger name guys like Trae Young and Doncic and different guys. Would you, just who's going to help you win more?
Right.
I mean, I think right now
he's strong.
Yeah, he's a strong, tough.
Yeah.
He's a heck of a player. I think really underrated.
Yeah.
The underrated thing is overdone, but he is one. I mean, I think you could legitimately say he is one of the 25 best all-around players in this league.
Yeah, I agree. I know some people were surprised that he was an all-star this year, but when you think about it, it's like, well, yeah, he just is, but he just doesn't have that type of reputation. Do you guys want to try the world's fastest pregame show? Are you ready to go?
I'm not scared.
Yeah,
Okay.
let's do it.
We'll try
Let's
it,
do it.
and then
Yeah.
Stones will time us, and then we got to see, we'll have the time, and then the next time we do one, we'll have to see if we can beat it.
Beat the time or beat the quality?
Beat the time,
Okay,
because it's
all right.
world's
Yeah,
fastest.
fastest,
So
okay, yeah.
let me know, Stones, when you're ready, if you count us down, and we'll start the world's fastest pregame show. Again, nothing against anybody who does a pregame show.
Nothing at
because
all.
You've done a lot of
Yeah.
them, and I've done them, and if someone said, would you do this pregame show? We'd be happy to.
Well, they all
I
should be
would.
done in a minute.
Well, that's
Yes,
it. That's
they
the
should,
point.
yeah.
Yeah, it's not the fault of the people doing them, but they're just too long. So we here at it's Old Fashioned 3, right, Phantom?
Yes, it
we
is,
like
I
to
think.
we like to bring you
I'll
the world's
check my
fastest
notes, yeah.
pregame show.
Okay,
We're
let me
trying
see.
to make them faster and faster
Okay.
every time. So Stones, let me know.
On your marks, get set, go.
The Kings tonight taking on the Milwaukee Bucks, and the Bucks are trying to avoid back-to-back losses for the first time since mid-January. We don't know yet whether Giannis is going to play. We do know this, though. The Kings have lost 13 straight games to the Bucks, so the Kings have been doo-doo against the Bucks. Tonight, they're due. Here's Jerry with his key to the game.
Two things. Claim Karams. That's rebounds and assist to turnover ratio. That's it, baby.
Excellent. Phantom with his Phantom fun fact of the game.
The Bucks mascot name is Bango.
Enjoy the game.
Wow.
All right, how'd we do, Stones?
Stones.
35.
Yes.
Awesome.
And we got Clem Karams in there, too.
Yeah,
That
we
was
did.
excellent. That was fantastic.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's actually a few worthwhile things in there.
Yeah.
Well done.
Well, I mean, yeah, me and then.
Well, that's all you.
Yeah.
That's as much as you need. That's for sure.
Yes.
Claim Karams and Bango. I
Yeah.
think you got
Yeah,
a show.
yeah.
There you go.
Again, I want to be clear. That's nothing against anybody who does any pregame show.
Yeah, it is.
Actually, it is. It's
yeah,
against
it
all
is.
of them. I know
We're
them
calling.
all.
We're calling them all out right
Yes,
here
we
now.
are.
Yeah.
Hey, match that.
Yeah.
Go for
On the other
30
hand,
more.
let's see
1
you do
minute.
that.
You got 1 minute to do better.
Yeah, I'll give you the full minute. We only needed 33
Yeah.
seconds.
35 seconds.
Yeah. So your keys to the game tonight: assist to turnover ratio. Huh?
Yeah, well, when the Kings are better than 2-1, they almost always win. You know, I mean, and by and large, they've been very good with the ball for the most part, especially when you look at how fast they play.
The pace of play.
I mean, the pace of play is really and then, but claiming Karams, of course, that's always a key. Now, you know, people got so bent out of shape on the Knicks thing, but overall, I mean, that still is a problem for this team. You need, I mean, Sabonis is terrific, obviously, but you need kind of five guys or the other four joining in.
Mm-hmm.
You know, to just take your butt towards
Go to the basket.
toward the basket.
And then when it comes
And
out,
when,
claim the Karam.
claim the
I
Karam.
love
There'll
that.
be a
Sure.
Karam there. You need to
I love
claim
that.
it.
Now, I don't know if you guys know this, but on occasion I speak with the coach of the Warriors, Steve Kerr. And I was talking to Steve recently about this.
Is that
I don't know if I brought that up.
You mean like when you vacation in summers with him and
Well,
stuff?
I don't
Yeah.
like to get into that.
I know that, yeah.
That's
Yeah.
But I asked Coach about that because their defense this year is terrible. Last year they were number 2 in defensive rebounding percentage. So I said, look, as you look for ways to improve your defense, is that a way? He didn't really want to go there. What he said is, he said, Whitey, let me tell you. He says, when you're when you're rebounding well defensively, a lot of times that's because you're in solid defensive position. It's like if you defend well, you're going to get your share of rebounds rather than rebounds make your defense better. I think he just didn't want to criticize his team's defense, but there's something to be said for that too, right? If you defend properly, which is harder to do in a zone, and you're guarding your man and you're minding your defensive principles, you're probably going to rebound better.
Well, that's, you know, when Steve and I were talking about
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
That's,
I didn't know you talked to him too. That's great.
yeah, I did. Oh, it's been 7 or 8 years ago.
Okay. Yeah.
But we've been in a close relationship
Sure,
ever since.
sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, no, that makes perfect sense. I mean, you know, I mean, what comes first, the chicken or the egg?
Yeah,
You know,
That's exactly it.
But I'm with you.
yeah.
I mean, a team that doesn't defend well, it seemed to me, how do we get better? It's like, we got to hit the boards harder. You can always rebound better.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, you know, defense, as Fanos pointed out, it's not really done until you get the board.
He said that, but he got it from you and me.
Did he? Yeah.
Well, I said it a long time ago. and
Okay.
You guys repeated it.
Yeah.
Well, I'm looking. I have not spoken to Steve in a while, and that sounds real nice, but it doesn't mean anything. I'm looking the other side, though. I'm looking tonight. Twice in the last 4 games, Keegan Murray's been shut out. And I know we talked about rookie Wall and everything, and you know the other guys are picking him up. And it does seem, Jared, that when he's not shooting it well, he gets the hook pretty quickly. I think he's played a combined 35 minutes in those 2 games. So I'm looking to see him get a little bit off the snide because we can't have these the big goose eggs. You know, they made up for it last time, but these big goose eggs coming out of your starting whatever he's considered a 4, I guess. You can't get these goose eggs coming out of that position consistently.
Rumor has it,
Two times.
Phantom, that he's trying to get himself benched so he can be a candidate for the MSRVP or
Exactly.
R-
Manufacturer
RSVP
suggested reserve
Yeah.
player.
Well,
which
it's
is
too
another
late.
Good
It's
name
too
for
late.
it. No,
It's
he has.
too late.
It's like they're putting a number on the appearances for the for the awards and stuff. If you have enough starts, you can't
Oh,
be that.
you can't
As
be the
Jerry said, you
MSRVP.
can't be that.
Yeah.
Sam,
Yeah.
What you said.
Okay.
Yeah. But I know seriously though. I mean, he's out there a couple of times, twice. Like I said, twice in the last 4. Now, most of the time, the other games double digits, low double digits, but he's averaging under 12 points a game now, and I just don't want to see him wearing down. I want to see something out of him tonight.
I have this comment. This is from, I guess, about an hour ago. It's from today. An NBA analyst said this. I want to see what you guys think of what
Okay.
this analyst said, and I want to see if you can guess the analyst if you care to. I'm going to say this right now. The Warriors better stay the hell away from the Sacramento Kings. 1, the Kings are going to the Western Conference Finals, but 2, the Golden State Warriors, their championship days are over. What do you think of that? And if you want to guess who said it, you're certainly welcome to.
You want to take a guess, Jerry?
Don't have to.
I'm just leaving
Well-
it open in case you do.
I mean, I thought it made about as much sense as something Kendrick Perkins would say, but
That's what I thought.
you got it.
That's, yeah, well done. Well done. Now, is that a positive for the Kings or a negative?
well, I don't know. I don't think you ever want to take anything he says with any level of
I
positivity.
thought
or
maybe he would
confidence.
get our, we'd start to have a higher opinion of him with that, but maybe not, huh?
You don't put a
Not-
lot of stock in
not.
that. You don't put a lot of stock in
I'm
that.
not.
No, no.
Yeah, not.
He's rejecting the defending champions, I think, a little early.
I think a little early. I mean, I know they've been up and down, and their road record's terrible. Blah blah blah. But Wiggins hadn't played. They really
Yeah.
haven't been together.
Yeah.
Can they? Do I think they can win a championship? No, I don't. But I think they could beat somebody who
Yeah.
could.
Mm-hmm. I would text Steve to see what he thought of it, but I don't have his.
Yes.
have his
Well, he'll
opinion.
probably be checking in later
I don't
with
have
you
it.
when he kind of see.
Yeah,
what,
when you guys
see-
have your
probably,
2 o'clock
yeah.
call, why don't you do it then? Yeah.
you know the old.
maybe.
Hey, how you doing, Whitey? You know
Yeah,
that kind
he
of
calls
stuff.
me. I don't get to call him.
How you doing, Whitey? Well, the thing that the other team that I was looking at, Jerry, your favorite. I mean, they lost last night, but before that, the Lakers were in position. They're like ninth or
Lakers.
10th.
Ninth, I
They're
think.
one game out of 6th. You
Yeah.
know, and so. Had they won last night, they'd have been 500, which is kind of weird thinking of all they've been through. So they are lurking. And my nightmare scenario is the Kings come through and they get the 2 spot or the 3 spot, and all of a sudden there they are. The Lakers
Oh.
are sitting there for them in the first
Oh,
round. And I
I-
know we say, hey, we want to host a first round. It'd be a great season, and it would be. But if you lose to the Lakers, it's going to take a lot of the luster.
Oh,
out
I
of it.
wake up in a cold
I
sweat
thought
thinking
so.
about that. I really do.
Yeah.
I mean, just like, oh my God.
Did you see the number last night? The last time the Lakers were at 500 it was January of 2022.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a long time ago.
Yeah,
that's a long time
and
ago.
they had it right there. But last night it just got, like Jerry was saying today on the way over, which should be a podcast.
Yeah, it should be a
Jerry and
podcast.
Whitey on the way over.
Do you get calls from Steve Kerr in the car? Because that would be great. Have the three of
He
you
didn't like
talking.
me to say, but Jerry said, "Well, the Lakers just lost to probably a better team last night." And I think they did. Huh?
I think they did.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the Lakers, here again, LeBron's not playing, but it's also true the Lakers have a good roster now, pretty darn good roster.
do.
I mean, when Anthony Davis plays at his peak or near it, they're likely to win. He didn't last night. But the rest of the surrounding cast was very good, and LeBron comes back. And to me, it's like if LeBron comes back, and can he kind of adjust his game a little bit, which I suspect he won't, and that how much then what happens. But then again, that's like, boy, how good are the Suns going to be when Durant plays? Well, what?
Really good, but when is that? Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, absolutely.
Durant's, he is an all-time great player, but the last 4 years he hasn't. It's the old telling the media, you know who I am. It's like, yeah, your street clothes a lot.
Yeah. It's like the Warriors. I don't think the Warriors can win if they don't get Wiggins back, and no one knows what's up with Wiggins, but no one knows if he's going to be back.
Right.
So, yeah.
Yeah, why don't they know? Why don't we know?
Because it's personal, and whatever it is, the few people that seem to know are really keeping a lid on it. There's not even like rumors like, well, I think it's blah, blah. People are like, I don't know. So the few people who know are really keeping a lid on it. So it's obviously something family related and very personal. That's all.
So you can't ask for deadlines or anything like that, or
Apparently
target
not.
dates.
That's-
No,
yeah,
so, 'cause
yeah.
they just don't apply in that situation.
Yeah.
But I was surprised, even though the Knicks are a better team and they had a couple losses on the trip, but the Lakers have that great home court advantage in March, like 10 out of 15 games are at home, and without LeBron, you think they really have to make good on all those home games they have. And I think last night is one of those situations they really let that one get away. They get themselves back to 500. And as we talked about, the second half of the top half of the Western Conference is not even bunched together. It's like the same. So a 2-game win streak is going to put them out of the play-in and into the number 6 spot. So every game, we talk about it all the time. Every game is important. And for them, I know that franchise doesn't like to say it. There's a couple of must-wins mixed in there that they have to grab.
Well, I would think so. I mean, I do think that, LeBron probably feels, as do the Lakers, that, we might not be able to get to 6th or whatever, but we're good enough if we're healthy to play from wherever we are.
Right.
And I think that's a scary thing. I mean,
Absolutely.
I mean, I don't know who you'd be more scared of in a one-game circumstance than those guys.
It is going to be interesting to see because Schroeder's played so well running the team, and even Russell's played well, and then LeBron, if he's going to be, we're going to run everything through me, that's going to throw a lot of things out of whack for that team right now.
I think it will. I mean, I think LeBron really needs to make a little bit of an adjustment, as he should. I mean, as good and great as he is and always been, but you've got some guys out there that can play, so let them play a little more. Don't be such a ball stopper, which in my mind, LeBron at times, really the last year or so to me, has been like Luka or Trae Young or those guys to a fault.
It's kind of like, to me, it's like you on this podcast, except you have guys that maybe aren't really producing. LeBron has guys, he's got to adjust, like, these guys are doing well. And you've had to adjust to being with Phantom and I, even though we probably don't, give that level of help that you'd like.
I haven't adjusted, no.
No, he just covers for everybody.
Yeah.
He basically is. He's a conversation stopper, and that's what he wanted to do. But I think the Lakers.
I want to nip it in the bud, man.
I don't
like
think,
Barney Fife, man. I'm nipping it in the bud.
You're a big Barney Fife fan. I know that's true that Lakers have all that, but I think they don't want to get in that 8 spot still because I don't think they want to come out and have to go straight into Denver and try to take on the Nuggets. When they're not. Even
the
with
Nuggets can't win a game all of a sudden.
Well, they'll be fine. I think they'll be fine, and they'll have home court advantage. And then I don't think that's the team the Lakers want to come out and find things on. I think they'd much rather come up to Sacramento and try to take on the Kings. But maybe that's what'll happen, and then they will be vanquished, and that will shut that up for a while.
Let me ask you this, Mr. Basketball, and former Kings coach Jerry Reynolds,
right
Kessler Edwards, as he continues to play well, presumably. Whose minutes will be sacrificed? If he's going to play more, who's going to play less?
Whoever's not playing well. I mean, it seems that Mike Brown has the hook. We talk about Keegan Murray. If he's not playing well, go ahead and put somebody else in for him and pull him. And I think Edwards the same way.
Wouldn't it be Terrence Davis too? I mean,
well, I think he's a wing defender, and I think he can at spots could defend probably 4 spots. So. I mean, certainly Fox isn't going to be affected, and Domas is not going to be affected. But I think certainly even Lyles to a lesser, maybe a very less degree.
Davion at all, maybe?
I don't know. I don't think so.
I
think more. I think you're more Terrence Davis.
Yeah.
Maybe even a little bit of Harrison Barnes, and certainly Keegan Murray's the guy that. That's the most. I mean, if he gets his minutes, he's going to get most of them from Keegan, and maybe Terrence Davis gets pushed down. But, you got to like it. I mean, he's, Kessler Edwards looks like what they've been searching for when they're talking about Matisse Thybulle.
Right, yeah.
The big, long wing defender that can, who they thought they had in KZ Okpala. And, I think Okpala kind of got to thinking he was an offensive player. And now we'll see what happens with Kessler Edwards, but I'm very encouraged. Just it looks like he could be that guy. Give him that 15-20 minutes against the Bookers or key guys, and and certainly when Keegan, and I still love Keegan Murray. I think he's going to be terrific in time, but he has his rookie walkabouts, and and so rather than give him 30 minutes to try to find his way out of it. You ain't got time for that now.
Right.
we can give him a group hug later. But
Yeah,
in the meantime,
I
let's
know
try
you're
to
big
win the
on-
ball
you're big
game.
on
Win. Yes.
Win.
So if Kessler Edwards continues to play well, the Kings could have multiple candidates for the MSRP.
Exactly.
I knew
Although
he was gonna
might
do
not
that,
have-
didn't you?
that just shows he's buying into it because he knows it's a good idea. But it's what we talked about a couple weeks ago. I mean, they have their core. They have Fox and Sabonis, and all they're trying to do is improve around them.
Did I
improve around
telegraph
them.
that pass, Jared?
You sure did, man.
He reached in, picked it off,
Yeah,
and went down
yeah.
and slammed it
Yeah.
360 on you. Just having more options, having a better quality, better talent, just upgrade the talent of everybody around him, and now you've got another button you can push if you need to with Edwards.
Well, and Brown, to his credit, I just think he's terrific this way, is he'll push that button.
Yeah.
Not worrying about,
Not worried about
okay,
it.
this is my 8 guys. Well, maybe tonight you want that 8 guys, but this ain't the night for them. Mm-hmm. And so we're gonna get somebody else in there. And I like that. I mean, we've seen that with Terrence Davis. Where on a given night he might be a 30-minute guy, and then not call his number for 3 games.
I think sometimes fans get frustrated when a rotation changes because it's like, well, how are the players supposed to know?
Right.
But you're playing different opponents. Every game is different. It
Yeah,
doesn't
there's
make
so
sense
many
to me.
variables,
I mean,
yeah.
unless you're the 85 Lakers or the 86 Celtics, it doesn't make sense to say this is our rotation. We're going to follow it. It's not smart.
Well, I think with if you got that key guys, I mean, with Sabonis and Fox on this team, Harrison Barnes certainly to a large degree. Yeah, they should know their minutes.
Sure.
And okay, and you know who they are. So given the minutes, they're going to find a way to be productive almost every night. Now, past that, that's a little different. And and the guys have got to understand that. I mean, Malik Monk, we've seen him get 45 off the bench, and we've seen him go 1 for 9 or something. So, that's kind of coaching discretion, and I think that's terrific. We see Davion Mitchell playing a big role some nights, maybe some nights not so much. This is a team, I didn't think they'd be near good enough to be where they are right now. I really didn't. I thought they'd be slipping by this time of the year, and they'd had a great year, whatever. But they just seem to be getting better.
Who would you cherry pick in the first round of the playoffs from the Kings' standpoint if you could?
Oh, man. Well, who would I like to play? I'd love to play Dallas right now. I mean, that'd be fantastic to play right now because they're not doing much at all. But, I mean, they're all mixed together down there. I think I would stick. I don't want to play the Lakers, not because I'm afraid of them, because I'm afraid of the consequences of that. And I don't even know who's Minnesota. That was a tough game against Minnesota the last time they played, and they match up. They're a dangerous team with the talent. I'm going to stick with the Mavericks right now.
I think if Wiggins doesn't come back and if Peyton is not anything close to what he was last year, which even if he does come back, that's tough because he was unbelievable last year. But I think that'd be a great matchup for the Kings in the first round. If the Warriors are shorthanded and they can't win on the road, plus just if your first playoff series, if you were to beat Golden State,
That would be a lot of fun.
it would
I
be
agree.
like almost everything after that is just gravy on the cake, as they say.
They say that a lot, and I've never really understood it.
Gravy on the cake.
Yeah, that's actually what they give to the most valuable reserve player is a cake with gravy on top.
Well,
There
let
you
me
go.
tell you something right now. This is very important for
This
me.
is important.
Being from Southern Indiana, and I know about gravy.
Okay.
I know about gravy.
I shouldn't have brought
I
up
did not
gravy
know
with
those-
a gravy.
And we put it on everything except cake.
except cake. Okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't aware Indiana was the gravy capital of America.
Well, a lot of people don't know that.
Yeah.
It was.
I wasn't aware of that.
It was when Dennis Della Reynolds was doing the cooking in the Reynolds
definitely, yeah.
estate.
Yeah.
You would just have already accomplished. I mean, just to get there would be a huge accomplishment, of course, and we were pretty sure they're going to get that. But then if you beat the Warriors in the first round, my goodness.
I just think that if the Warriors
And I think they could.
if they are the Warriors, I don't think they'd be in that 7 spot. Under your, maybe if Wiggins doesn't come back, if they don't get Peyton, obviously that could happen. But
they're
I was
6th
kinda
right now,
I was
right?
kind of
Yeah.
giving them the benefit of being all together. So I thought that would be a pretty dangerous team to play. But without those guys, it'd be great. And playing the Warriors, I think that would be a fantastic series because the Mayor's Cup would be up.
No,
You
we
want to
don't
get
have
that
anymore.
Mayor's Cup, right, Jared?
Who were
Oh
the mayors?
my God! Why wouldn't you?
Do you even know who the mayors were when they had the Mayor's Cup?
Joe Alioto.
No. I think it was Lionel Wilson, the mayor of Oakland, and Ann Rudin.
Oh,
Weren't they the two mayors that used to battle for the Mayor's Cup, which never quite became a thing.
I did. I had a little Mayor's Cup in my house and everything, So
Do you remember
I thought
that
it was great.
when they had that? That was to the team that won the season
series between the Warriors and the Kings, the Mayor's Cup.
They had a Mayor's Cup.
You were the coach. Come on.
Maybe I know we won those games. I got to be honest. We did not take a lot of pride in that like we should have.
Yeah.
I mean,
they have a banner, 2 Mayor's Cups. The banner goes up in the arena.
Yeah. It was
it didn't quite catch on. No one cared.
Good idea, though.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about that. It didn't catch on.
Well,
it was
not
a better
like
idea.
the most valuable reserve player, but
I agree with Phantom. I think the Mavericks. They're just not heading the right. They're not very good.
I agree.
I mean, not near as good as last year. Losing Brunson was he was the perfect fit with Luka, and Luka was healthy, and I thought that
it'd be a high scoring series, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I think that. I'm not saying you for sure would win 4 straight or something.
No,
but
not at all.
I see that.
All the teams that you could play, I just think I feel more confident against them than anybody.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. As far as your whole defense, schmefense, I heard.
Yes, it is.
I think it was Dennis Scott last night on NBA TV, and he said with the Kings, he said, your offense is your defense. I don't know.
Hey, Dennis, watch it. Famous 3-point shooter, so he's going to say that. Oh, yeah, I was a great defensive player. I made a lot of threes.
Yeah, but there's some truth to that.
Probably, yeah.
There is.
Because you have to outscore the team, right?
Yeah.
That's the whole thing.
Well, if your offense is great, it helps your defense because the other team has to take it out of bounds.
Mm-hmm.
Gives you a chance to get back in transition. I mean, you will.
Right.
Gives you a chance. And everybody's better 5-on-5 in transition, and when you've got the advantage of setting your defense. Now, in today's game, that's why the Kings are so good with their offense or whatever.
Defense, schmefense.
Because
his is better, I think. Yeah.
Even after they get scored on, they really are push it down to where it's still a transition situation. I've never seen a team do it better.
Yeah, and it's incredible the way we've talked about it. You've seen it, the way De'Aaron Fox gets his shot, whatever shots he wants in the fourth quarter. Eddie Johnson, I watched yesterday the last 6 minutes, the Suns telecast of it, and Eddie Johnson was saying, Fox, he likes this shot right here. This is what you got to watch out for. And he gets it every time. It's just like a little bit to the left, just inside the foul line, right? And he gets it every time. It's just a matter of whether it goes in or not.
It's quickness, yeah. I remember watching Russell Westbrook back when he was a rookie and watching him as fast as he is now, how fast he was then, and watching him and going, he could pull up for a 14-foot jump shot every single time. No one would ever guard him. I said, if he ever learns to make that shot, he's going to go to the Hall of Fame, and he's going to go to the Hall of Fame anyway. He never learned to make the shot.
No.
So what would he have done had he learned to make that shot? And that's what quickness does for you, and De'Aaron has the same thing.
Yeah, actually, Darren's probably got a little more quickness.
Yeah.
He doesn't maybe have the
strength,
the strength and aggressiveness and all that. But, yeah, you're right. I mean, Russell always got that shot for the same reason that Fox does.
Mm-hmm.
Defensively, if you're playing Fox, you're so scared of him getting to the basket for the layup.
You're
giving him that shot.
And that happens too, right? Because sometimes guys do close out on him, and then he will get to the rack.
Oh no, he's a tough cover. I mean, really, he wasn't particularly good in Phoenix in the fourth quarter. He missed shots. They probably did a better job on him, but fortunately, other players stepped up enough.
How many threes are too many threes, Phantom?
To try?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, these are. I think if you're not trying 30 to 35, you're probably going to be drummed out of the league. So you have to take at least 35. But I think once you get in the 35 to 40 range, maybe look at your percentage a little bit. I know there's some teams that 9 for 30. They're like, yep, we got to keep flying them up. And at some point, shooters have to keep shooting, but you have to figure out what point you're taking too many. You're not hitting them tonight. Let's go do something else.
Golden State against Milwaukee. The Bucks that the Kings play tonight. 23 of 55 3-point shots.
Wow.
That's around 40. Is that around 40%?
It's 41-8, sir. Yes, you're
so
right.
If you're over 40%, keep on shooting.
Yeah.
And if you're the Warriors, the rules kind of don't apply. The 3-point rules don't apply because you're the Warriors, and you could literally take 70 and it would be okay.
Yeah. It's not the number, it's the quality, right? Like 30 that are good shots is not too many.
No, not at
20
all.
that are forced where you can't get the offense going. It's like, we got to shoot a three. That's way too many.
I think it is. I mean, I think, like the number, it's more about how you get to your 3-point shots. Are you just going to shoot without trying to go inside at all? Are you going to turn down good high percentage 2-point shots in order to shoot threes? That sort of thing. And I think, the good teams, the Warriors, with how they've done it over the years, the way the Kings are doing it now, I think do a great job of actually looking for better shots inside before it's not just automatically we're going to shoot a three the first chance we can get.
Yeah, if you just come down, take a three early in the shot clock when they're giving it to you, that's one thing. But if you go inside to Sabonis and then back out, and you get the defense shifting. I mean, that they shot 43% against the Suns. So bottom line is
43%, whatever number they're shooting is fine. If
Yeah.
you're going to shoot 43%, but you don't want to settle for threes. You want to go ahead and move the ball around and get an open three.
Can you believe how many teams are taking now, based on how many teams took when you coached?
Oh, it's amazing. The whole game is so the game is just so different. There's more differences than similarities almost. Where as used to be, if you even back in the early 2000s or late 90s, if you had a couple of guys that could shoot threes and stretch the floor, now you better have at least 4 that are all the time. You need 4 guys on the floor who can make threes.
And one guy's got to be able to hit from the logo. If you don't have at least one guy who can hit from the logo, you really don't practice threes.
Yeah. And then really but that's true. I mean, that may be a little bit of exaggeration.
A little bit.
But I mean, the fact that the line itself is not really a factor.
No, it's not. It's just a suggestion.
It's just it's where a guy can really get open and comfortable. If it's 5 foot behind the line, that's fine.
But at the same time, when the guy makes one like that, it really is a lift. But when a guy comes down and shoots one of the long threes and clanks it, there's not a worse look in the
Did
league,
you see
I don't
Kuzma
think.
last week?
Just come out,
Kuzma tried to do a Curry where he shot it and turned around to the bench,
don't do
and
that.
he missed
Don't
it.
do that. Don't do that.
Right,
There's
exactly.
one guy who can do that, and really, he probably shouldn't do that, but he can.
Yeah.
There's one guy.
Yeah.
Don't
You just-
do that.
there's-
Maybe Larry could have done that back in the day.
You don't need
That's
to do is
it.
if you make a three, that's cool. You don't need to
Listen, you're Kuzma
put
anyway.
any gravy on the cake.
You're not going to spin around and turn into Bird. You're Kuzma, okay? That doesn't matter.
Don't forget, you're Kyle Kuzma.
Yeah,
Right. And there's nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that,
that.
but that's who you are. Don't get too proud of it.
You can get proud.
Phantom, can you take us to Jersey City?
Oh, it could take you to Jersey City tonight. Well, first of all, Jersey City is whichever team the Kings are playing, or if you're going to their arena to
This
watch
is where
them
it gets
play.
confusing.
You have to wear a jersey of that team. Tonight it's the Bucks.
Uh-huh.
So wear a Bucks jersey to the Kings game. Okay, so which
No
Bucks
disrespect
jersey,
intended. It's just theoretical.
which Bucks jersey would you choose to wear? It's a pretty simple proposition.
Of all the Bucks that have played over the years,
of all the Buckses, which Buckses would you pick to wear the jersey to and represent? And you can give a little bit why if you want. You don't have to. You can say, I'm going to be this guy and be that guy. That's fine. So
Yeah. I know one time we were doing it, somebody said, Baron Davis because he played for the Pelicans, and I thought he was cool. And that, I guess, was good enough.
You know, I seem to remember that time. It was after the other guy took 8 minutes to determine the history of the franchise that they were talking about, and
That
took
was
it
good
to
stuff.
7 different cities.
Good
And I got
stuff.
so confused, I just said Baron Davis.
Who's up first today?
I'm going to go with Jerry Reynolds.
Okay.
well, my Buck jersey that I would wear would be Mr. John McLaughlin. And this is why. Is because he was a very good player, did color for years and years, played on a championship team, was kind of the Kevin Herter of the Milwaukee Bucks championship
what
team.
A great, you won the comp. That's a great
That's pretty
comp,
good,
dude.
wasn't it?
That is great.
And of course, he's from Franklin, Indiana, and so we had
Sure.
Hoosier ties, and so I'm biased, but John McLaughlin.
That's a really good one.
That is
Yeah,
a
That's
good
a good
one.
one. I'll let Whitey go
Off
next.
guard, jump shooting off guard, right?
Jump shooting off guard, gave Oscar Robertson somebody to he knew he could throw it to and he'd make shots.
A running mate, as they say.
A running
And
mate.
he's from Indiana. He loves gravy.
And you
There
know,
you
he just did not put it on cakes. Never did.
I would.
He told me that. He said, "No, don't ever put it
Jerry,
on
don't
cake."
ever listen to anybody
No.
telling you about.
No, you
putting
put it
cake.
on bread. You
Yeah.
can put it on sausage. You can put it on hamburger. Whatever you want to put on, not cake.
We got a.
Maybe pie. I don't know.
Oh, that would be interesting.
That'd be
yeah.
interesting. Yeah.
Do you remember what number he was? We can look it up. Maybe.
14.
I was going to say 10, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't
I'm
know.
thinking
Okay.
of 14, but
Okay,
whichever.
Okay,
I
I
think
would
they-
wear. Yeah,
I think they retired his number in Milwaukee. I
probably
think.
did. Huh?
Yeah, I think so.
I would wear, I believe it's number 32. And you think of number 32 in any team, you think that guy must have been a stud.
Awesome.
This guy was a 2-time All-Star. Brian Winters. And you might not know who Brian Winters was.
yeah, I do.
Really good. South Carolina,
Oh,
I think.
man.
Yeah, he was with the Lakers. Then they traded him to the Bucks in the trade that brought Abdul-Jabbar to Los Angeles. But one of the reasons I say Brian Winters is because this was so much fun. In 1974, I got to go to a preseason doubleheader with my brother. And we got to see in Oakland, we saw the first game was the Lakers and the Sonics, and then the second game was the Warriors against Bill Walton and the Trailblazers. It was awesome. But that first game, Brian Winters is a rookie and he's playing, and this guy near us says, "Yeah, you know, the Lakers say this could be the guard that they need." And my brother says, "You know, they got a guy on their team named Jerry West." And I just thought that was, I just thought that was
So it's not me, it was his other brother, but still, that's a good line.
I just never forgot
Yeah.
that. It turned out Jerry West retired shortly thereafter, but
I didn't know that.
that was that's one of the things I think of when I think of Brian Winters, who was a really good player, really good shooter.
Excellent player, an all-star, I think 1 year or so. And,
Couple years, yeah.
Great
Yeah,
shooter,
yeah,
great
yeah,
shooter.
yeah.
I always remember him in high school. I think he played
Really?
at Archbishop Malloy in New York City.
Wow.
Played with Kevin Joyce, who also played in the
Oh,
league
what a
briefly.
player.
Okay.
Yeah, what a player.
And I think,
Out of
and
South
I could be
Carolina.
wrong here, but this is, give me a pass if I am.
Okay.
I think Mike Dunleavy played there different years, was on that same high school team.
Wow. Okay.
Mike Dunleavy Sr.
But I always
Yeah,
remember,
yeah.
the reason I remembered, I was there to scout somebody. I don't think it's either one of those guys, but Kevin Joyce was by far the better player in high school. I mean, he was
Didn't he
great.
go to college out here somewhere?
I thought he went to South Carolina.
South Carolina.
Oh, did he? Okay,
He
I
went
think
South
somebody else.
Carolina
I'm sorry.
too.
Okay.
And you know, was just a great one of those guys, a great high school player, but his game and was outstanding in college, but just didn't transition to pros because of deep shooting, I think,
Yeah.
where Brian Winters did.
Yeah. Maybe I'm thinking of Mike Brott. Sorry about that. What do you got, Phantom?
I was thinking about Brian Winters or Junior Bridgman or Dave Myers, so one of those guys. But
Yeah, it looked like when I said Brian Winters, you kind of
'cause
went, "Oh,
that was
oh."
one of my guys I was thinking of. But I got to go with the big fella, number 33, and I'm going to go with the first year. So I'm going Lou Alcindor. I'm not going Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I'm taking Lou Alcindor, number 33. And after his first year there, then he changed his name to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. But I'm going to go with the Alcindor because I think that's classier. I'm wearing the 33 Bucks jersey with Alcindor on the back, and I'm feeling pretty good about myself. That's the way I would go.
I remember a few years ago watching Warren Sapp doing something, and I don't even remember what he was talking about. He was wearing a throwback Kareem jersey, and they never even referenced it on the show, but I remember seeing that and going, "Wow, that's really cool."
You see a lot of the Power Memorial jerseys for Kareem, too, the high school ones
Yeah.
with the 33 on them. Yeah. So, I mean, obviously, I don't think you can overstate his impact on the game or on society
He's
or
all
anything.
right. I mean,
So,
LeBron just
yeah,
passed a scoring
he was,
record.
no, yeah, LeBron went right by it. Okay, so couldn't have been that good.
Well, like I say, until somebody, I mean, as great as LeBron is or Jordan, all I know is the big guy
He's the best.
was a three-time national champion in college and would have been 4 if he'd been allowed
Yeah.
to play as a freshman. You know,
And
Texas Western would
yeah.
have had no shot against them.
That's how great that is. That fact is the fact that if he'd have played as a freshman, then Texas Western isn't. They don't win, and basketball literally is changed.
Yeah,
the
I mean,
whole
well,
thing is-
yeah,
it's
it-
so crazy to think about.
Yeah, that's just, it's kind of like Michael Jordan playing baseball. I mean, Hakeem Olajuwon probably
Yeah.
doesn't have 2 championships.
By the way, speaking of the Lakers, this would be a nice way to close, given Jerry's relationship with Larry Bird. I was watching something yesterday on Bird and Jordan, and the point of it was, Michael Jordan maybe wasn't really that much better than Larry Bird, which is, sacrilege to even suggest that. But they asked James Worthy about guarding both those guys, and he said, "You guard Michael Jordan, he'll make you feel slow. But if you guard Larry Bird, he'll make you feel stupid." 'Cause he just,
Wow.
Yeah. Larry was pretty good.
Yeah, he was pretty good. Well, it's
Yeah.
like Pat Riley always said, one of his great lines was, if I got to pick a guy to win a game, to take the last shot to win a game, I'd take Kobe. If I got to pick a guy to take the last shot to save my life, I'll take Larry Bird.
All right, predictions for tonight?
I don't want to do it. I've got to go. I got to say the Kings pulled this one out tonight. I mean, they are this 4-game stretch. I didn't think they'd be 3-0 right now.
I heard on the fastest pregame show that the Kings have lost 13 straight to the Bucks.
Yeah, so 13's a lucky number, my friend. 14 ain't happening. Kings win tonight. Close, but Kings win tonight. I'm going to say by 4.
So out of that 13, how far do we go back to where not a single Kings player was
Pretty far,
part
yeah,
of
we
it?
are.
Yeah, pretty
Yeah.
well.
Maybe
They're going
2
pretty
years?
far,
Yeah.
yeah.
Not-
yeah.
not
So
Sure, sure,
I always
yeah.
say that probably maybe 2 or 3 games have had.
I'm glad you didn't say that during the fastest.
quit
pregame
using
show.
Yeah,
logic.
yeah,
You're
no,
hurting-
we don't.
You're
yeah.
hurting us, man.
Appreciate
But
that.
yeah, Kings by 7.
Yes.
Kings by 7.
There you go.
Okay. Drew Holiday's going off again tonight. Giannis is going to play. I'm saying I don't know.
Yeah.
Bucks are going to win. Bucks are a good team. Bucks are gonna
Didn't
win.
you call Steve and ask him what they did?
I
so
can't-
we can use that tonight. Come on,
I
use
can't-
your
I don't have
connections,
his.
man.
I don't have his number. He calls. He can get in touch with me. But I don't actually have his number.
You
okay?
can
So-
call the Warriors office and say, "This is Whitey. Tell Steve to call me."
I did, and I
Basically, you
just
can do
haven't
that.
heard back.
Well,
Yeah.
keep
All
trying,
right.
man.
Yeah.
Keep trying.
Thanks for being with us. Subscribe. Check out all our items on the subscribe.
Subscribe, subsort.
Yeah, I
okay.
had a hard time saying it 3 times in a row.
And send us your candidates for most valuable reserve player. We'll
Yeah.
announce our favorite on Friday.
And do you have a comp for us before we go? I don't mean to put you on the spot. The comp game.
You didn't do last week.
Yeah.
No, we didn't do it last week, did we?
Okay. No. So if you don't have one, it's okay. We'll do one Friday.
Well, let me think real quick
You
here.
take your time.
You
Take
can
your
always
time.
let us know during the week.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah, but it's good. It'd be good because people love to
Yeah,
play
I got
along.
one. I got
I know
one.
they do.
I
All
got,
right.
I got
Okay.
one. Louis Dampier.
All right. So we're supposed to come up with a
Louis
current
Dampier.
comp to the former Kentucky Colonel San Antonio Spur, Louis Dampier, the
All-time
ABA's
ABA
all-time
guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
3-time point leader. All right. Thanks for being with us. I'll see you guys Friday.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
thanks,
maybe.
Ghost.
Yeah,
Thanks,
maybe.
Chris.
Probably.
Thanks, Coco. What'd Coco think of the show? Sound asleep.
Oh,
asleep.
yeah.
See you next time on the old-fashioned 3.
Thank you for joining the Old Fashioned 3 on Stones Radio Networks. To stay updated on the show, like and subscribe on YouTube, and all shows are available for download on iTunes or wherever you get your podcasts, and of course at stonesradionetworks.com. Follow the show and the gents on Twitter at OL, Fashion, and the number 3, at Phantom Radio 60, and at Whitey Gleason. This has been a production of Stones Radio Networks.